Coming up right now on SUTV News, we're clearing up the confusion between machine guns and assault rifles.
And we also have an exclusive interview with the man who makes a living by asking the question, what would you do?
And women take the stage to remind us all what it's like to be a woman. It's all right now.
Back in 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Lucy Davis.
And I'm Perry Mattern.
The assault weapon machine gun debate has heated up over the last year, starting with the movie theater shooting in Colorado and moving to the recent elementary shooting in Connecticut. Steph Horvat takes a closer look. Hey, Steph.
That's right. The debate is one of the top news stories since Sandy Hook. Politicians say the AR-15 is an assault rifle. Well, I've dug deep into this issue to set things straight.
The machine gun is starting to be phased out of the military now, but it was heavily used in Vietnam as a squad action weapon.
In today's terms, the assault weapon is identified as any semi-automatic weapon, so for every trigger pull, a round comes out.
The Second Amendment was put in the Constitution in order for citizens to own guns.
In case the government became tyrannical. That was something that the founders really feared. They didn't want to come out of a really bloody revolutionary war and land right back into an oppressive regime.
Many people own guns just to appreciate them.
I like guns. I'm enthusiastic about them. I go hunting. I want to collect them.
This is an AR-15. The only thing that makes it an assault weapon is the flash guard, rails, and the adjustable stock.
The question is, what types of guns should people be allowed to have? And more specifically, how many bullets should people be allowed to shoot at one clip? And that's where President Obama's been really coming into the discussion to say that what needs to be addressed is less the type of gun and more the size of the magazine.
And the only reason I would want an assault weapon is for the same reason somebody else would want a Lamborghini, just for the sheer enjoyment. You don't need a Lamborghini to get from point A to point B, but you may want one. I don't need an assault weapon, but I do like going to the range and shooting and having that capability of just appreciating it.
The machine gun is fully automatic and only for military use. The assault rifle is semi-automatic and is available to the public.
I hope I've cleared up the confusion. The automatic machine gun was never available to the public. President Obama is now trying to limit the number of rounds a semi-automatic assault rifle can shoot. Back to the desk.
1 in 3 women will be beaten or raped in their lifetime. Aaliyah Smith has the story on how Shippensburg women are helping bring attention to the problems women face.
I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt isn't showing off. This is who I am. Get used to it.
Female students at Shippensburg University get ready for the performances of the Vagina Monologues.
The Vagina Monologues is a play. It was written by a woman named Eve Ensler, and she wrote it. She interviewed a bunch of people about kind of what it's like to be a woman. They talked about their vaginas. They talked about different things.
Hosted every year by the Women's Center, the monologues help women share their innermost thoughts.
It's like a collaboration of a lot of things that women wish they could say to everybody, but they can't. Like, almost like stuff that they thought that only they think about, and then they realize that there's a whole community of women that feel the same way.
Being in the show allows students to learn things about their own body.
It's like a liberation of all these secret truths about women's lives, and especially like intimate stuff, like stuff that we don't normally talk about in public. I think it's a really cool expression of the way we really feel about our bodies.
One important part of the show is getting the crowd involved and making the theater come alive.
We have some engaging things we're doing with the crowd, so if you come, be ready to be part of the show. It'll be a good time, I think, a good way to explore some of these issues.
23 women want to show you how to embrace your womanhood. Aaliyah Smith, SUTV News.
The show begins tonight at 8 in Memorial Auditorium. The proceeds go to the YWCA Rape Crisis Services of Cumberland County.
The 3 ABC shows Primetime, Primetime What Would You Do, and 2020 all have something in common. That something is actually a someone, and it is Emmy Award-winning anchor John Quinones. Quinones will be speaking at the Lurs Center tonight at 8. He will talk about education, dreams, and how any person can succeed.
My dream was to be a reporter. Ever since I was 11 years old, I used to write for the school newspaper, even in junior high school and then in high school. I used to watch Peter Jennings and Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather, these great anchormen, and dream of some days telling stories. So I think anyone who relishes news, telling stories, listening to stories, I think they would enjoy my little talk.
Seats are $20 for non-students, but admission is free to students who show their SUID at the box office. Coming up on SUTV News, the slate takes aim at the gun debate. Find out what's inside next week's edition.
And how one student athlete turned a crippling injury into his miracle racing story. It's all coming up next.
I look up to a lot of the older heads, the innovators, the heads of the art movements of the past. They kept it really edgy, and like a lot of the Latin American muralists and Latin American artists, and their styles were very unique and new to their time. Somewhat controversial, but that's who I look up to mainly. Personally, I'm very excited about going to college. It's something new and it's something different than what I'm used to. I'm definitely going to be a little out of my element, but that's what makes it so exciting, is that, it's something fresh. Well, there's so many opportunities that I think I could miss out on if I didn't go, Getting into college takes planning and vision. It's just like when I take a brick wall and turn it into a canvas for my art. Paintings help me realize that I've got what it takes.
She was a passenger. I was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk. I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed? Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Hi, I'm Trey Kemble.
And I'm Zach Rivera, inviting you to tune in to SUTV for every play of the Shippensburg Raiders hardcore action.
We bring you coverage of both the men and women's basketball games right here on SUTV. Join us Saturday when the Raiders take on the Cheney Wolves.
Tune in for tip-off at 1 p.m.
Welcome back. The slate is taking the gun debate from its pages to the stage. Paris Hillman explains.
Thanks, guys. This week's issue of the slate is dedicated to gun control, including a review of the effects of violence in video games, discussion on the recent spike in gun sales, and information on the weapon policies on our campus. And don't forget, taking place on Wednesday, February 27th at 7 p.m. in Memorial Auditorium is Rights and Restrictions, a discussion on gun control. The mayor of Shippensburg, Bruce Hawker-Smith, faculty members, and others will be in attendance. See you there. Back to you guys.
Shippensburg athletes take to the indoor track this weekend to compete in the PSAC Championships. While it's just another competition for most of the students, it's nothing short of a miracle for one of the athletes. Sara Small has the story.
Romar Main is tearing up the track for Ship. He's ranked 19th in Division II in the 60-meter dash. But a year ago, Romar could have only dreamed this.
I began to think about life not ever being able to walk again. And it just depressed me so much. I don't think I've ever cried that much.
Romar doesn't remember much until a Good Samaritan came along.
I heard someone knocking on the window, and it was a FedEx guy. He was like, "Hey, help is on the way, stay put."
Romar's car went down an embankment and landed between two trees.
But I remember in the ICU, my mom showed up, and I was like, are you taking me home with you? Please tell me you're taking me home with you. And she was like, no, sweetie. She was like, you're hurt pretty bad.
Doctors told Romar his neck and back injuries were just as bad as Christopher Reeves, so walking again seemed unlikely and running unimaginable. But for Romar, his faith kept him right on track.
My pastor came in and he said, you know, God gave me a word. He said, he sits high and looks low. He's the doctor of all doctors, and he has the last say. When you recover, you're going to run faster than ever. And that just mellowed me out.
A miraculous recovery aided by faith and physique.
The doctor said that him being a student athlete and being in great physical condition really probably saved his life.
Romar is getting off on the right.
It's a miracle that he's yet alone walking, but doing amazing things on the track. I'm just amazed, like, that he's being as successful as he is.
He has a ton of potential. He's extremely fast. He's already run a national provisional time this year.
Living the miracle is so important to Romar, he even changed his name.
So Romiracle, it's a trademark, and when people hear that, I want them to connect that to my story, and I want that to mean something to them.
Lacing up for the next big thing life throws his way. Sara Small, SUTV News.
And Romar is seated first in the 60-meter dash for this weekend. He will find out about competing at the NCAA meet in the next few weeks. His outdoor season starts against Westchester on March 23rd. We wish him and the rest of the indoor track team good luck this weekend. And author Christine Lincoln will be presenting a reading from her collection of short stories, Sap Rising. Lincoln has appeared on NPR, The Oprah Winfrey Show, and has been featured as a phenomenal woman in the Oprah magazine. Her stories have been performed on stage by such actors as Don Cheadle, Gary Dondor, and Lizanne Mitchell. The reading is February 27th at 7 p.m. in Old Main Chapel.
Shippensburg University will host the Mid-Atlantic Reading Recovery Council Conference on February 25th. The one-day event provides professional development for reading recovery educators. Reading Recovery is a short-term program to help first graders struggling in reading and writing. The program consists of daily 30-minute sessions lasting for 12 to 20 weeks. After completing the program, 75% of struggling students reached grade-level standards. Shippensburg is just one of 23 training centers in the United States. The university offers training to school districts in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. Don't go away. Still to come on SUTV News, the Oscars dominate Hollywood talk this week.
They sure do, and frigid temperatures dominate our weather. Get caught up on entertainment and weather next.
Hi, I'm Trey Kemble.
And I'm Zach Rivera, inviting you to tune in to SUTV for every play of the Shippensburg Raiders hardcore action.
We bring you coverage of both the men and women's basketball games right here on SUTV. Join us Saturday when the Raiders take on the Cheney Wolves.
Tune in for tip-off at 1 p.m.
I look up to a lot of the older heads, you know, the innovators, the heads of the art movements of the past. They kept it really edgy, and like a lot of the Latin American muralists and Latin American artists, and their styles were very unique and new to their time. You know, somewhat controversial, but that's who I look up to mainly. Personally, I'm very excited about going to college. It's something new and it's something different than what I'm used to. I'm definitely going to be a little out of my element, but that's what makes it so exciting, is that, you know, it's something fresh. Well, there's so many opportunities that I think I could miss out on if I didn't go, you know? Getting into college takes planning and vision. You know, it's just like when I take a brick wall and turn it into a canvas for my art. Paintings help me realize that I've got what it takes.
There are so many fun things we all can do to be healthier, no matter who you are or where you are. So let's move.
And we're underway.
Let's stretch in the grass.
And we're ready to go.
Let's play tag.
What a play.
Let's jump up and down.
What a way to finish it.
And most of all, let's eat better so that we have the energy we need to play an hour a day, every day.
Anyone can play.
Just go to letsmove.gov to learn more.
Welcome back. Well, Perry, as I'm sure you know, the Midwest was virtually shut down by snow this week.
It was good news for some college students like at Kansas State, where the school had to be shut down.
Yeah.
Courtney Christian is here with a look at Ship's forecast.
Today we experienced less wind and more sun, which definitely made it feel warmer. Tonight we're looking at a cold evening at 18 degrees and it'll be mostly cloudy. Tomorrow, snow is likely, as well as ice, and a high of 33 degrees. The National Weather Service is showing that we'll receive about 1 to 2 inches of snow in our area. As we look at the 5-day forecast this weekend, we'll be seeing rain on Saturday, sun and some clouds on Sunday. Monday will bring about sun and some clouds with a high of 42. Finally, Tuesday the area will be experiencing wintry mix. With all the wintry weather coming our way, Zach Briscoe has some information on black ice. Hi, Zach.
Thanks, Courtney. With a chance of snow during the day tomorrow, there comes multiple hazards. One of those hazards is black ice. With the sun tomorrow radiating through the clouds, it will cause melting on the roads and sidewalks, and then as temperatures start to drop below freezing and nightfall comes, that will turn into ice. Now, even though the roads may only look slippery and wet and the sidewalks, there could be ice on those, so you want to be careful when you're driving around campus tomorrow and walking around campus. Back to you guys at the desk.
It may not be summer yet, but you can still have those summer nights at the Lurs Center.
Yeah, Kristen Pappas tells us more and what's up this week for entertainment. Hey, Kristen.
Thanks, guys. Looking for plans this weekend? Well, tickets are still available to see the Grease star and recording artist Olivia Newton-John. She will be at the Lurs Center on Saturday at 8 p.m. Don't miss your chance to see 2013 NBA All-Star Drew Holiday and the Sixers when they play the Golden State Warriors on Saturday, March 2nd. Get your tickets through APB for $25 with your student ID. Starting this Sunday, the Orndorff Theater will be showing Wreck-It Ralph and Red Dawn. The movies are free to all students, but only until Saturday, March 2nd. Well, the Oscars are on Sunday, and I am very excited to see what all the celebs will be wearing. But why do you watch? I asked students on campus about their favorite movies and actors.
It was a great picture. Jamie Foxx is awesome. He did a lot of good movies.
Well, that's it for me this week. Now Tyler Farrell has your Oscar picks.
This weekend, the stars of Tinseltown take to the Dolby Theater to celebrate its top honors. After winning the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in Silver Linings Playbook, Jackie Weaver is a strong contender, but I believe the overall popularity of Les Mis will earn Anne Hathaway the Oscar, and you guys agreed. For supporting actor, Alan Arkin is up for his role in the declassified true story Argo, and Tommy Lee Jones, combating Civil War America in Lincoln, both give memorable performances. But Christopher Waltz, who stole the show with his vendetta-aiding performance in Django Unchained, should earn the Oscar, and once again, you guys agreed. At only 22 and gaining notoriety with each film she makes, Jennifer Lawrence as Tiffany, the young lost widow in Silver Linings Playbook, should take home her first Oscar for Best Actress, and that makes it 3 for 3, with you guys voting the same. Sometimes an actor can dive into a role with such intensity and passion that he almost becomes the character. Daniel Day-Lewis kills it as Lincoln and should be already writing his acceptance speech for Best Actor. You guys thought a little differently, giving the trophy to Hugh Jackman. The granddaddy of all awards, Best Picture, has 9 solid nominees, so I wish there could be multiple winners. Argo, which won at the Golden Globes, Lincoln, and Django Unchained are at the top of the pack. But for my pick for Best Picture goes to Silver Linings Playbook. And you guys couldn't agree more. It's a movie that transcends overcoming one romance and finding another, a passion and love for a city and its team, and the reality of living with mental illness. One line from the film says it all.
This is what I believe to be true. You have to do everything you can. You have to work your hardest. If you stay positive, you have a shot at a silver lining.
Wait, what's this?
Well, I thought you were doing it.
Oh, I thought you were doing it.
Tune in to see if my picks are right at 8 o'clock on ABC.
Thank you, Tyler. Still to come, SU sports fans may soon have to change their game cheers. We'll tell you why.
And this woman's picture should be in the dictionary next to the definition of perseverance. Meet her next.
And I'm Zach Rivera, inviting you to tune in to SUTV for every play of the Shippensburg Raiders hardcore action.
We bring you coverage of both the men and women's basketball games right here on SUTV. Join us Saturday when the Raiders take on the Cheney Wolves.
Tune in for tip-off at 1 p.m.
She was a passenger. I was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk, I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed? Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
4 years ago, I went through something that was very difficult for me. I was faced with a very big challenge at a young age. I didn't want to tell my parents. I really didn't want to tell anybody, and I didn't. I shut down. Once I reached out to my sister, it got a little better. Once I told my mother, it got a little better. The more I talked about it, I felt it coming off. If you're strong enough to just open your mouth, that's all it takes.
Hi, I'm Terry Williams. Can I tell you that it is way past time for us to come face to face with the issue of mental illness in the Black community? Time for us to stop hiding it behind closed doors. Share ourselves. Healing starts with us.
Welcome back to SUTV News. Here with us is Zach Rivera.
Hey Zach, what's going on in the world of sports this week?
Hey guys. It's a bittersweet week for some seniors this Saturday. I'll tell you who, and some big changes in Ship athletics. Now let's get it rolling.
All right.
The Raiders seniors are being recognized this Saturday at Higas Fieldhouse. Austin Schaefer tells us what it means for the team.
The Lady Raiders prepare for their game this weekend as they host the Cheney Wolves. But it's not just another game. It's the seniors' last ever regular season game in Higas Fieldhouse.
It's a little sad being the last time playing on this court. Ship has been good to me, not only in basketball but in other aspects.
It's senior day. It's a day for seniors to be recognized and for them to look back at their careers in this past season. A season where the seniors pushed and unified the team to make it a season to remember.
They came in with a great attitude this year to embrace all the new players, to try to help them develop so that together as a full team we can do a better job than we have in the last few years.
Years of playing together only helps bring success and a family feeling to the team. Their last regular season game together will be filled with passion and emotion.
My poor body has taken a beating over 5 years, but it's going to be a struggle to move on for sure.
And we do get very attached. They all have their own quirky personalities that we have a lot of fun with. So it's always sad to see a group graduate in terms of what they brought to the program, but it also makes you very happy to see what they're able to do once they move forward.
Austin Schaefer, SUTV Sports.
Come out at 1 and 3 this Saturday to see your Raiders on the court in action. Shippensburg basketball made its annual pink statement over the weekend, but this year Jane took the stage. Trey Campbell has the story.
I think it embodies a fighter's spirit with a positive mind.
The Play for K basketball games were a little different this year. The Jane Goss Perseverance Award was added to honor the late Jane Goss, and her name carries a story.
In a sense, Jane was really the pioneer of women's athletics here at Shippensburg University. She was very passionate about our athletics, the program. She was a longtime administrator in the athletic department here for us as the Associate Director of Athletics.
Jane was also the field hockey coach from 1967 to 1982 and was also a tennis coach, but she was known more for her warmth.
Jane and I were very good friends. Over the 24 years that I've been here, from a student athlete to a graduate assistant to an assistant coach and a head coach, I had many opportunities to spend time with Jane, and I don't think we'll ever find another woman quite like her.
Jane wasn't just close with administrators. Student athletes had their own bonds with Jane and knew the kind of person that she really was.
I know I would talk to her before and after every game and give her a hug, and whenever I saw her on campus, and she always wanted to know how I was doing personally, and I always wanted to know how she was doing as well.
Jane's fighting spirit won the battle over breast cancer and gender equity in athletics.
She persevered and just did it with a spirit of, I'm not going to quit, and I keep coming after it.
Now when people win the Jane Goss Perseverance Award, they know they're filling the shoes of someone who kept going. Trey Kemble, SUTV Sports.
Corey Hunt was honored with the first Jane Goss Perseverance Award. A member of the Red Raider football team, Corey had his own battle with cancer and returned back to the football field this year. Shippensburg Athletics and the Office of Marketing and Publication is looking to end the name Red Raiders or Lady Raiders. The idea is to push for one universal name for our sports teams.
Or is it Red Raiders? Or maybe Lady Raiders? Sports Information Director Bill Morgul uses all three when writing for the website and media guides.
It got to a point where we then pretty much established it that all of the men's teams would be called Red Raiders and all the women's teams would be called Lady Raiders.
So what does this mean for our uniforms, apparel, and other merchandise such as this? Well, the Office of Publication and Marketing is trying to push to have our Shippensburg logo become a universal brand. So all new uniforms and all new apparel will have our brand and say just Raiders if that's what they decide. So anything you have that say Lady Raiders, Red Raiders, or just Go Raiders, keep it, because you have a part of Shippensburg history.
Way back in the day we started out just being called Raiders. And it never really originated as an Indian sort of name, but over time, in really the 50s and the 60s I believe, it sort of took on sort of an Indian persona where we had an Indian head as a logo, things like that. And then in the 70s there really was sort of a spirit to try to get things a little bit more equitable from a gender standpoint.
I think we should be called Lady Raiders to distinguish the gender of our sport.
On the other hand, sticking with just Raiders would bring gender equality to our athletics.
I think that the men and women who play sports, especially at the level that we have here at college, they deserve the same amount of respect, and I think by equalizing the names that the women will get more of the respect that they deserve.
Whatever the decision, there will always be a home for Shippensburg Athletics. I'm Emily Estep, SUTV Sports.
Here's a quick fact. Did you know that the Shippensburg mascot used to be an Indian?
It should be interesting to see what they decide to do with it, and so hopefully soon.
I feel like if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Just keep it the Red Raiders. Well, that's it for SUTV News. I'm Lucy Davis.
And I'm Perry Mattern. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/SUTV News and follow us on Twitter at SUTV News.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.